Hi, what's up you guys? My name is Vivian from ThePaperLetterBlog, also known as the Chatty Pen Pal channel, and today I'm going to do a much requested video for how to make a box shaped or a box envelope. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen these before. When I make a bulkier or a bigger or a special package, I like to send them in my own handmade box envelopes. I get a ton of questions about them, which is why I decided to do a tutorial. We're going to make an envelope that is similar in size as this one. I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker because I need to fit socks in there and socks are not going to fit into this parcel. Now it's currently nighttime, which is why I'm speaking a little bit softer. I don't usually film videos with speech at nighttime, but I actually wanted to send this project out to my mom tomorrow, and I thought, you know what, this might actually be a fun thing to show you guys. So I thought I would take you with me. I am here with a cozy blanket because it's nighttime, and I have some apple cranberry tea. I was afraid I wouldn't like it, but I have to admit the cranberry is nicely balanced out by the sweetness of the apple. So just to draw a little picture for you there. Let's start with the tutorial. If you've seen my how to make an envelope from scratch tutorial, that's linked down below. I honestly think it's one of my most useful videos I've done so far because I love making my own envelopes and it's really simple. But similar to that video, this video will show you 3 ways for making a little box envelope. I am going to tell you 2 of them and then I'm going to show you the 3rd one because that's my personal favorite and I would recommend that, but the other 2 are very good options as well. So for this tutorial, you can use fancy tools, but you don't have to. I definitely want you to think, look at possibilities, because you can make a box-shaped envelope with as little as paper, scissors, a ruler, and a pencil. So don't worry too much about what supplies you do or do not have. The option we're going to use for this video today is going to be an envelope punch board. I will keep that for last. I will first tell you about the other 2 options. One of the options is something I love doing, use Pinterest or Google, because both of these websites, as well as probably many others, are filled with templates. What you type in is simply box, envelope, template, and bam. Both Pinterest and Google will give you many templates that you can print and cut out for free. That's a very good option. The only thing that is of course a downside to this is that most printers will print a 4-sized paper, meaning you get a smaller envelope punch board because this is made on 12 by 12 inch paper, which is of course a lot bigger than most printers. But that's definitely a good tip to check out if you have a printer. Then the second thing you can do is, I would still recommend looking up those templates, but instead of printing them, you can draw them yourself. Or if you're good at maths and if you have like a good vision of what you want to make, you can definitely draw this out yourself. I want to do a quick shout out to Happy Meal by Corinna. She's a Dutch snail mail Instagram page, and she did a tutorial for how she draws her own box envelope. I keep saying that wrong. She did a tutorial on her Instagram for how she makes a box envelope, but it's in Dutch, which is why I thought I would include that in this video as well. So I just want to give her a quick shout out because she is the reason why I decided to include a drawn template in there. So my suggestion, if you were a klutz like me, is just to look up the template on Pinterest, but instead of printing them, try drawing them yourself. I definitely would recommend that. Another thing you could do if you don't want to print or use that template is of course draw it like this. Look at this. It's basically a regular envelope. The only thing you add is these extra 1/2 inch on the envelope flaps. So you see that? This, you add the extra space. So if you're used to drawing your own envelopes, that's also a good tip. But today we are actually going to use the envelope punch board. This is not sponsored, not by anything or anyone. I am going to use an app, but that is simply because I like using this app. It's this app, it's called Envelope Punch Board Calculator. I will put it up on the screen, do a little screen recording. I'll put it up on the screen, and it's a little bit tricky to get to understand at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually really simple. And I know that there are also other apps available, but I don't know how they work, so I'm just going to explain this one. So I put in the size approximately that I want the envelope to be. So it's going to be 6 inches as I put it. It's going to be 8 inches wide up there, and then the height, I changed that. This one was 1/2 inch. So when you want a 1/2 inch box like this one, this is the measurements you would be working with. But I actually want mine to be a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to do that. And then at the bottom you can see that it says 12 inches by 12 inches, which is the paper we're going to use. And then it tells you the score lines there. So that's what we're working with. We cut a paper from this paper pad from Action. Which one was this? I forgot which one though. It was one with black and white flowers. Oh, either this one or that one. Okay, actually, let's go with this one. Now, for making a box envelope, I would recommend using cardstock. This paper is 250 grams. More is possible. I would not necessarily recommend less. If you're sending it in a box, less is fine. 250 grams or less is fine. But if you're sending it as the envelope, I would definitely recommend 250 grams because that is nice and sturdy. Your box won't crinkle or do anything weird. The only problem is the envelope punch board is too small. It only goes into 5 inches, and one of the score lines, where did I put my phone, is more than 5 inches. One of the score lines is at 5/7/8 of an inch. That's gonna be a problem. Okay, so let's do the first one. 4/5/8 of an inch. If you do not want to download this app, you just want to make this one box envelope, I will put my measurements down below. I am going to do some music because this is not necessarily interesting. For a large part of the video, I will be doing a voiceover, but this clip is too short to start a whole story. So now we have this box-shaped envelope. The next thing you're going to do is decide which way is up, which way is down. I think this is down for me. And then from the top, you see these little flaps? These. You will be left with these sort of extra flaps, and when you try to fold the envelope you will notice that you can't because the flaps are in their way. So from the top flap you're going to cut off these 2 little extra flaps. You could cut all 4 of them off, but I actually have a nice little trick that will make your box a little bit sturdier. So this is the top, this is the bottom. Now from the bottom, you could cut all of it off. I wouldn't do that because what you could better do is just cut it in so that the flap is loose. Cut it in from the other side. And you're going to fold it in so that you have, so that the envelope is actually fully closed. Because on the top, when you close this, you will see that there's a little bit of a gap. I'm making it extra big now just so you can see, but that's what happens at the top. You don't want that to happen at the bottom. See, this is actually, when you glue it down, it's fully closed. That's okay. The only thing is, because you want the envelope to be able to open from the top. So what I usually just do is I will put some clear tape over this so that it's protected but still easy open. So that is it for the box tutorial. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to glue it shut like you would a normal envelope. So I'm actually going to glue these flaps. Put glue on here and on there, and glue them up there and up there, of course. So glue that. Then I'm going to put some glue here, all the way down there, and here, all the way down there. I'm just showing you with the marker where the glue is going to go. And then I could also put glue here if I want to. I think I'm just going to do that. Not all the way to the top though, because this is of course loose. Okay, I really hope that tutorial made sense. It is a little bit difficult for me to explain. I know that the app can be a little bit intimidating or difficult to use when you first start out with it, but I would definitely recommend just grabbing some scrap papers or papers that you don't like and testing it out for a bit, because as you can see, once you figure out the app, you can do wonderful things with it. Once again, not sponsored. I don't even know. I don't know, it's not sponsored. And then we came to the worst part of this project, the part that I hate, and that is gluing everything together. I got quite a few, I got quite some glue on my hands, but luckily a couple weeks ago, I purchased a glue eraser, so I actually could erase the excess glue from my envelope. I would recommend that. I did not think a glue eraser was a thing, could work, but it actually does work. So it may have been a little bit sloppy, but I managed to turn that around. The next thing I'm doing is I'm going to close the envelope using Velcro dots. Velcro is basically that stuff that you used to close your shoes with as a kid. I've seen many people use this for crafting, and I thought it was so cool. So I finally found some Velcro dots. I found them on Craftelier, if anyone wants to know. I also found the glue eraser on Craftelier. Again, this is not sponsored. I just really like Craftelier as a website. I found the Velcro dots, and then they're already sticky. They have some sort of glue or adhesive on the back, but I wanted to add more glue because I didn't want to rip them off the paper, but of course it turned into a whole mess once again. So this is just me struggling to get the Velcro dots onto the page. The reason why I'm doing that, normally I would send these as envelopes. So I would put the address on. No, I would put my stuff inside, I would glue the envelope shut, put the address on, and put some stamps on and drop it in the mailbox, because the Netherlands, we can ship mail up to quite, I think, 3 centimeters into the mailbox. So normally I would have sent this as is. However, this one was for my mom. I will tell you a bit more about that in a couple of seconds. And I decided to actually make it reusable so that she could use this as a some sort of storage something. So while we are decorating the box in the background, I will tell you a little bit about this project. I think you could already see some Christmas socks here somewhere in one of the shots, and of course that needs a little bit of explaining. You may have seen on Instagram that I've been sending my mom little box mails with random things, mainly socks. I purchased 3 pairs of Christmas socks for myself, and I also purchased the same ones for my mom. I thought, you know, similar to me, she is quite down, I suppose. She's been having some winter sadness, you know, like the winter is not a good season for us. It's too dark, it's too cold, the days are too short, and it's just not good for your well-being. So I wanted to cheer her up by sending her Christmas socks, and I thought I could send them all in one parcel, but then I thought, you know what, she knows that she's going to get 3 parcels, and that might make her even happier. So instead of sending 1 large parcel with 3 pairs of socks, I decided to send 3 with 1 pair of socks. The only thing is, I said in this video that I wanted to mail it out on Monday, and I was really planning on doing that, which is why I was kind of hurrying to send this out. My idea was to make this envelope, fill it with stuff, and then put it inside a small shipping box so that she could reuse it, because my mom, this is the third parcel, and she told me that she was so happy to receive the first two. She was only sad that she had to damage the box every time to get the goodies out. So I decided I'm going to make one box that she can keep intact and that she can use for, I don't know, postcards or something, or stamps, or just for safekeeping, something nice. I was really planning on sending it out last Monday, but, and I mean last week Monday, so the Monday before Christmas, but you know, mail has been so super slow. I decided just to hold on to it for Christmas, so then I would give it to her on Christmas, because I was afraid that otherwise it would arrive somewhere in the new year or something, because mail has been super duper slow. And I think that was a good call, because it's now nearly the new year and we're still receiving very much belated Christmas cards. I don't mind that at all. I love a Christmas card, even if it's after Christmas, but that just comes to show how delayed our mail services is these days. So I am decorating the outside of the box a little bit. I did not want to overdo it. I also have that label from AliExpress. You may have heard me talk about labels before, because I am quite literally obsessed, and this dark blue one, I thought it would be nice. So my original idea was to leave the label blank, so that if she, for example, put cards in there, she could write cards on the outside. But then I decided, okay, I'm just going to write her official name. My mom's official name is Winnie. She just changed it to Wendy, so I wrote Winnie on there. Especially since my grandmother passed, my mom has been kind of embracing her original name again, I guess I could say. So I just wrote Winnie on there, and then I left it blank so that she could still write the contents of the box in there. Granted that she will reuse it. I definitely do think she will reuse it, because my mom is much like me. She loves pretty stationary items. I think a box like this is really fun for storing like writing paper, or like I said, postcards or stamps or something. But for now I'm just filling it with some little things that I think she will enjoy. Of course, I included the socks in there. I could have made the box a lot smaller to fit the socks, but I decided to make it bigger so that, you know, she could fit in whatever she wanted. And then I decided to add some little happy things, such as this envelope of tea. I think I wrote something along the lines of, it's a rooibos apple tea. Apple tea is really nice. Rooibos apple tea. And I wrote something that said, like, make a nice pot of tea when it's cold outside, or something like that. And then I'm including the socks, and then I'm also going to include some little candles, some small candles. My mom we are quite similar, so my mom has a lifelong stash of candles, but I just wanted to include these as a little something. And then I'm going to put them in a little gift bag, because I did not want the wax to go on the socks or something like that. So I'm just reusing a gift bag someone sent to me, and I'm going to add a label on top of that that says, again, something along the lines of, you have to light these on a dark day, because on a dark day it's very easy to just sit in the darkness and feel bad. But I'm also trying to embrace that, okay, it's a dark day today, that means I can light some candles, I can make some hot chocolate, I can sit under a blanket. Just because it's a dark day doesn't have to mean that it's a bad day. We can embrace it. And even though I hate dark days, I cannot fight them. Like, I can be upset with the dark days all I want, but that doesn't change the fact that it's a dark day, so we might as well embrace it. And that's the glue eraser. Make the best of it. That's the glue eraser. Once again, a miracle. I thought it was a joke, glue eraser, but it actually works. That is a postcard that I got from Pinhata Studios. I did a little giveaway over on Patreon where you could win some of those cards, and she also included a set of postcards in the star signs. So I chose the one that was my mom's star sign. I forgot what it's called, the one with the archer. So I included that. She could either use it or keep it as is. I told her that it's a postcard so she can send it, and she said, no, I'm going to keep it. So I thought that was really, really sweet. So that is this tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment if you like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. I think one of the upcoming videos is going to be another PO box opening. So if you enjoy these, hit the notification bell to be the first one to know. And I will see you again very soon. Bye!